All of us do a great deal of shopping for clothes for ourselves and our families. We're the ones who must make buying decisions, the ones who must judge value and quality. Sometimes, after we've made a purchase, we find out that the merchandise isn't right, that the product has a fault of some kind. Then we feel that a return of the merchandise is in order. But returning merchandise prompts a lot of questions. For example, to whom do we go for satisfaction? The manufacturer? The store? What will the attitude be? How do we know if our complaint is really justifiable? As consumers, we know what our attitude is, simply that we want full value for our dollar. And if we feel we're not getting full value, then we want satisfaction.
I'm sorry you had to return this, but your account will be credited for the full amount. Thank you.
We talked with both manufacturers and retailers about returning faulty merchandise, and they agreed that if merchandise is defective, it should be returned. This is Jane Anderson's office. She's the customer service manager of this large Midwest department store. Jane, how do you and your management feel about merchandise returns?
Mary Lou, we see two types of returns, those that are reasonable and those that aren't. We're happy to take back merchandise which is faulty. In fact, we encourage consumers to return faulty merchandise. But shoppers should be reasonable about the merchandise they return, or else they actually raise the prices for everyone. For example, last week a woman brought back a pair of boys' jeans with worn knees. She insisted the garment was defective and wanted to exchange them for the next larger size. Now, we don't consider this a reasonable return, since obviously the boy outgrew them. There's no way we could have sent the jeans back to the manufacturer. We would have had to absorb the cost in our overhead.
I see what you mean, Jane, but what about reasonable returns?
Look at the zipper in these double knit slacks. These were purchased 3 weeks ago. Now, this kind of thing shouldn't happen, so we took them back and they'll go back to the manufacturer. Now, in cases like this, the manufacturer welcomes a return, since they're continually striving for high quality. Here's another example. This stain was caused by salad dressing. Now, the blouse is supposed to be washable. The lady followed the washing instructions on the label, but the stain didn't come out. A legitimate complaint. Now, the industry has a solution to this problem, and it's called stain release. The manufacturer should be made aware that consumers are concerned about staining in permanent press.
We found this store's attitude to be typical of most of the retailers and manufacturers we talked with about merchandise returns. All agreed that reasonable complaints should be acted upon, and here's how to act. First, go back to the retailer. If no satisfaction is received, then contact the manufacturer. As a last resort, you can try news media action lines or consumer action groups. But most retailers are very happy to help out if the complaint is a reasonable one. They, too, are always looking for ways to make our shopping experience a pleasant one. Happy shopping!